You are the creator of reality. And so, do you get how this is following around? I am the creator of my reality, so I'll look out into the world at realities I don't want to create that are only realities because somebody else beat the drum of them, and because they are reality, now I'll beat the drum of them and make them my reality. And we say, that's dumb. Why do that? Why not look out into the database of creation and selectively sift the realities that you want to replicate and beat those drums? Your answer is, we do it because it's reality. We do it because somebody else did it. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would not let the reality of something be our basis for attention. We would let the feeling, vibration of it be our basis. So we would start saying to anyone who was interested in knowing what we were about, if it feels good, I give it my full attention. If it doesn't, I don't look at it at all. And you know what they'll say to you? You should face reality. And then say to them, I do it all the time. I've just become a more selective sifter of the reality that I face. Because I've begun to discover that whatever reality I'm facing, whatever reality I'm talking about, thinking about, remembering, regurgitating, whatever reality I'm making statistics of, whatever reality I'm holding for very long in my vibration becomes my own reality. And I have become particular about the realities that I replicate in my experience because I've discovered I can create reality. I can create reality. I can create reality, and I can choose the reality that I am creating. Ooh, we love saying that to you. You are creators, and you can create anything that you want, but there's a better way of saying it. You can and will create anything that you are giving your attention to. So you are born with this magnificent barometer, this guidance system, this emotional center that lets you know how you're doing right now. And right now is all that matters, because right now is the drum you're beating. Right now is the vibration that you're emanating. Right now is setting up your now and future experiences. And so it doesn't matter what you have created before. It doesn't matter what you have thought about before. It doesn't matter where you've been before. All that matters right now is your relationship between what you now want in your wisdom with all of this experience that you've gathered and what you are thinking about in relationship to it. If you want more money now, you must stop beating the drum of absence of money. You got to stop talking about there not being enough. You've got to stop beating the drum of not enough. And you say, well, how can I not notice? And we say, oh, of course you're going to notice. Just don't make a federal case out of it. Just don't focus upon it incessantly. Stop talking about it. Stop using your not enough money as the basis of explaining to people who you are. So many who want more money walk down the street, and everyone they meet, they say, I don't have enough money. They'll look in a shop window and they'll complain that it costs too much. Or they will see someone who is spending money freely and they will criticize them as if there is something wrong. You've got to stop feeling bad about money if you want more money to come. Is there anyone here who would like an improved physical condition? Then you've got to stop focusing upon the physical condition that is bothering you. You've got to stop saying, I don't feel good. You've got to stop beating the drum of what you do not want. And now, we're going to free you from all of that by explaining to you why you beat the drum of what you do not want. It's very simple. You know from the very core of your being that you're supposed to feel good. And when you don't feel good, you know something is really, really wrong. And then you set out to explain why you don't feel good. Because you know not feeling good, not feeling happy about money, not feeling good about your body, not feeling good about your relationship, not feeling good about your job, not feeling good about your work environment. You know that it is wrong. You know that you're supposed to feel good. And when you don't, you feel like you need to explain to someone why it is. So you keep explaining that if it were not for this, that you would feel better. Not realizing that if it were not for talking about, if it were not for this, it would not be a vibrational player in your experience. Now, even though we know, and even though you know that we know, that talking about what is often doesn't serve you, especially if when you talk about what is, it doesn't feel good. We all know that you can't all of a sudden stop the patterns that you've developed. And we want to say to you, that's okay too. In other words, we see so often something isn't going the way you want it to go. And that makes you feel bad. And then you feel bad about feeling bad. And then you feel really bad about having felt so bad about feeling bad. And then you really feel bad about having felt bad because you know you're supposed to feel good. And then you talk to your friends about how bad you feel about not feeling better. So make a new decision today that you're going to make the best of wherever you are. And pat yourself on the back and say to yourself that the best that you can make of it is good enough and nobody else knows. What we mean by that is sometimes when you're in the depths of despair about something, anger is a relief. But somebody who has not been in the depths of despair and who is rarely angry, you know, one of those bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, annoying people, who sees you in your anger may very well say to you, your anger is misplaced, you should get over it. At which point, you'd like to punch their lights out. Because they don't know. No one can know that the anger that you're feeling right now was a big improvement over the despair that you were feeling before you chose the anger. Nobody knows that the anger that you're feeling and maybe even displaying is an improvement in your vibrational stance. That in order to stop beating the drum of despair, you chose the drum of anger and it was a better drum. Now, we're not encouraging you to stay stuck in anger. We're encouraging you to take the bridge from depression that anger gives you, but then keep saying the same thing. I'm going to still keep trying to find a better feeling. I'm going to still try to make the best of this. You have come forth into a creative environment at a time when the energy is moving faster than we've ever seen it, any time, any place, anywhere. You are a creative genius. You said, I want to be part of this fast-moving energy. I adore an environment where there is so much variety to choose from. And I will pay attention, you said, to the way I feel. And I will mold the energy. I will mold my thoughts. I will pick and choose by trial and error. I will feel my way into alignment with who I am. And after I am aligned, I will flow that energy toward what I choose. And Source will assist me in all ways. There is so much resource assisting you. You are very much not alone. You are the focal point of the energy that creates worlds. And all that energy and all that source adores you and will give you evidence in every moment of every day, if you will allow it, to help you to know the perfection that we know you are. Jerry and Esther have recently been working on taking the Sarah book, and Jerry read it into a recorder many times, and then they edit it into the CDs and cassettes that they are making available to you. And someone had written them a letter knowing how much Esther likes the alignment of numbers. She sees it as evidence of her well-being. When she looks at the odometer and sees 11111, she loves that she has been inspired to look just at that moment. So they are listening to the recording, driving down the freeway. And Sarah has just awakened in the story, and she has looked at her digital clock, which reads 111. She doesn't know why she's awake, but she enjoys the coincidence of seeing 111, and she goes back to sleep. And in a few more moments, she wakes up and sees 222 on the clock. And then she goes back to sleep and wakes up again and sees 333 on the clock. Now this gets her attention. And as Jerry and Esther are listening to the recording, first time they are hearing it as they are driving the monster bus, they are at mile marker 333. And Esther says, I adore how the universe is able to orchestrate these things to make the timing of our life so apparent to us. But there is an even stranger coincidence, as if there could be such a thing as a coincidence. So a woman wrote to them, "I think it is lovely," she said, "that the Sarah book ended on page 222. And Esther said to Jerry, "I was not aware of that, were you?" And then Jerry recorded for days the Sarah 3 book. And then Esther took all of the pieces of his recording and put them together, taking this best paragraph and this best paragraph, the best reading that she could find, and pieced it all together and made the chapters 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, in order to decide how much sound would go on each recording, she said, "I'm going to make one long document, and then I will divide it into 3 or 4 pieces." And when she pieced all of the chapters together, the length of the recording across her sound machine said 222 minutes and 22.22 seconds. And Esther said, "This is freaky." She doesn't mean freaky. She means this is spectacular. She means this is amazing. She means this defies logic. She means this is bigger than my mind can conceive. She means source energy is aware of us. She means source energy knows how much we like these things and guides us in increments, moment by moment, over weeks and weeks of a project in order to give us that moment of high at the end culmination that pleases us for no other reason than that it is pleasing to us slightly in the moment. Can you understand how much well-being is flowing to you? Do you understand how much orchestration is available to you? Do you understand how adored you are? Do you understand how the creation of this planet, the creation of this universe, do you understand how it all fits together for the perfection of your experience? Do you understand how beloved you are, how blessed you are, how adored you are, what an integral part of this creative process you are? We want you to. We want you to begin to understand the blessed nature of your being, and we want you to begin to look for the evidence of it because we are showing it to you in every moment that you will allow yourselves to see it. Not just in lining up numbers, but in lining up lovers, in lining up money, in lining up fulfilling experiences, in lining up beautiful things for you to see, in lining up circumstances and events, in lining up amazing co-creative experiences where you are rendezvousing with one another for no other reason other than for the fantastically important reason of fulfilling you and satisfying you and pleasing you and giving you joy in the moment. Motion forward is inevitable. It must be. You cannot help but move forward. You are not here as the quest to move forward. You can't not move forward. You are here to experience outrageous joy. That is why you are here. Jerry and Esther have a dear friend. They've been friends with this man for years and years. And he says to them, "There's nothing important going on here." And it's his way of saying, no reason to get upset, no reason to worry, no reason to fret, no reason to fear. Nothing important going on, meaning there is no way that you can fail. There is nothing that can go wrong. The outcome of that which you are will continue to be extraordinarily wonderful. You think, oh, I could get sick, I could get run over by a truck, I could die. And we say, yes, many wonderful things like that could happen to you. Once you give up your fear of death and you accept your immortality, and you understand that you will never cease to be and that there will always be a powerful now, and the consciousness that is you will never end, and that it cannot turn out anything but wonderful, then maybe you will relax and say, there is nothing very important going on here. There is only an entire universe that has been established to point me toward a moment in time where I might experience some joy. That's what it is all about. And when you get joy-oriented, when joy becomes your quest, everything else falls into alignment. But just don't beat up on yourself if you are not right now, this red-hot minute, in outrageous joy.